Welcome to Time of Death. This video is for informational purposes and in no way meant to glorify or condone violence. In today's video, we'll be discussing the murder of Manny Salcedo. Salcedo was shot and killed on Wednesday, May 9, 2007, in the 1800 block of West 3rd Street in Westlake, according to LA County Coroner records. Ramon Ordonez was subsequently arrested and charged with the murder. The following is the evidence at trial. At about 10 p.m. on May 9, 2007, victim Manny Salcedo was fatally shot outside the laundromat near the intersection of 3rd Street and Bonnie Bray in Los Angeles. 13-year-old Edgar testified that he had been eating with the victim at a taco truck in the laundromat parking lot just before the shooting. Edgar and 14-year-old Milton testified that the shooters were the front seat passenger and two rear seat passengers in the four-door dark blue Toyota Corolla that stopped in front of the parking lot. The gunman leaned out and fired 9 to 10 shots at the victim. No one got out of the car, and neither boy saw a second car. Neither boy could identify defendant. Edgar heard someone yell "fuck fake team" just before the shooting and Rockwood just after the shooting stopped. The victim ran toward the liquor store, then fell to the ground outside the store. He died of a single gunshot wound to his back. Police recovered two 9mm casings on the street outside the laundromat. Defendant was arrested for an unrelated charge on March 4, 2008. Detectives Frank Flores and Leanne Jones, who were members of a task force focused on the Mara Salvatrucha, interviewed defendant. They did not initially record the interview because they didn't know if defendant would provide any useful information. Defendant told them he knew about Salcedo's murder. Neither Detective Flores nor Jones had heard of that crime. Jones and Flores each testified at trial that during the unrecorded interview, which lasted about 30 minutes, defendant told them the basic story of what happened during the shooting of Salcedo. Detectives Michael Arteaga and John Motto, who were investigating the victim's murder, interviewed defendant in jail on March 27, 2008. They recorded the entire interview and the recording was played at trial. Defendant told Arteaga and Motto that he was driving 4 passengers in a stolen Toyota Camry he described as light blue and dark blue near Vermont Avenue and 28th Street at 3 p.m. on May 8, 2007, when the Harpies gang member shot at them, wounding one of his passengers in the hand and another in the elbow. Defendant dropped them off at Cedars-Sinai Hospital. Defendant told detectives Arteaga and Motto that on May 9, 2007, he and other MS gang members went on missions all over LA. Defendant was still driving the stolen blue Camry. The Camry was accompanied by a black Honda Civic driven by Trigger and containing Vago, Moreno, and other MS gang members. At about 10 p.m., they were driving around territory claimed by 18th Street. They approached the intersection of 3rd Street and Bonnie Bray and saw the victim at the taco truck. Defendant initially said that he had seen the victim before and knew he was a member of 18th Street. Defendant later admitted that he had served time with the victim and knew that he was not a member of 18th Street, but was instead a future 18. Later still, defendant admitted that he knew the victim was just a tagger. Both cars drove past. Someone in the Civic said he wanted to kill the victim and the car made a U-turn. Defendant turned his car around also. The Civic stopped and Vago and Moreno got out and walked toward the victim. Vago and Moreno had defendant's .38 caliber revolver and 9mm semi-automatic. Defendant drove past and stopped a short distance away. Defendant heard Vago and Moreno say "Mara" and start shooting. Defendant told detectives that he thought 6 shots were fired from the revolver and 4 to 6 shots were fired from the 9mm, which Vago and Moreno later told him had jammed. Vago and Moreno ran back to the Civic and both cars drove away. Defendant told detectives that he was sad that his companions had killed someone who was just a tagger and not an 18th Street gang member. Defendant told detectives Arteaga and Motto that after the shooting, he went to a hotel with more than 20 other people. Early the next morning, he drove the Camry to Long Beach, where he intended to burn it, but he was arrested for auto theft. Although defendant repeatedly told Arteaga and Motto that the case for which he was in custody was weak, that witnesses had not shown up, and that he thought he would be going home soon, defendant suggested at the very end of the interview, "I just want to get out. Maybe you can help me get out to get a job or something." Defendant also claimed to have information about other cases and told Arteaga and Motto that he could get them a lot of information, but he wanted to be outside in the field, not in jail. The site of the shooting was within territory claimed by 18th Street. Rockwood claimed territory nearby. Both 18th Street and Rockwood were enemies of MS. The prosecution's gang expert opined that the shooting was committed for the benefit of and in association with MS. Her opinion would not change if one of the shooters yelled out "Rockwood." Although this would be quite rare, It might be intended to deflect suspicion to allow the participants to get away and hide the guns before the police suspected them. Following the trial, the jury acquitted defendant Ramon Ordonez of first-degree murder, but convicted him of second-degree murder. The jury found true the gun and gang allegations. The court sentenced defendant to a prison term of 40 years to life. Manuel Salcedo was 29 years old at the time of death.